So it's official, guys. The Memphis Grizzlies have suspended Ja Morant from all activities until further notice. And look, man, last time there was at least an investigation to the IG Live. This action by the Memphis Grizzlies shows irritation, zero tolerance for his behavior. So this is just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come. They are sick of it. They don't have any time for it, and they're not catering to Ja. You know, at this point, they're not doing that no more. So Ja's gonna have to well, I don't know. I can't even say he has to figure out what's next, because it's not on him no more. He's taken all of the leverage out of his hand. Endorsements, gone. NBA career, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know what was passed for the next CBA. But if it ended up being an OJ Mayo type suspension, I wouldn't be shocked just with how close these events are together. But I know it's probably not like the drug policy. I'm just saying he's inching himself closer to something like that. We're going to look at what he said in his exit interview, and we're going to also look at Taylor Jenkins and what the GM had to say. Check it out.
It would have been better, Ja Morant, if Ja Morant had come out and was like, I still got a lot of issues.
Ongoing work in progress.
It's an ongoing work in progress, and I just got to put my head down and focus on doing what I need to do. But my issues don't just go away in 10 days. Had he said that, none of us would be saying anything.
Agreed.
We would be moving on. But trying to give us the impression, problem solved, it's a different animal. It's a different animal. I hope he's right, and I wish him luck.
And in some ways, being on the court can also be escape as well.
Absolutely.
So
Agreed.
that might help him to
1000%.
get back to his routine as long as you're continuing that.
But being on the court is where the noise comes from.
There it is.
And the noise is what he's trying to escape because he's Ja Morant, because he's so spectacular. And that's where it can become problematic.
You know, it's times this year, you know, where injuries had me out. The incident where I got suspended, you know, had me away from the team.
About how next season wants to see more walk the walk as opposed to talk the talk and walk the walk. Is that an approach you've already tried to implement since coming back? I noticed, you know, at least in this setting, we haven't seen really any trash talk from you since coming back.
Yeah, that's what I said, you know, pretty much when I got back, that I wasn't, you know, talking about nothing anymore, engaging in, you know, anything. So, yeah.
Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of the changes that you've made so far?
Yeah, I am, honestly. Less drama. Less Ja on the blogs for, you know, something I said. So, yeah.
Zach, with Ja at the end of the season, he said that he wants to be a better decision maker. As you sort of look back on what transpired with him this year, do you wish that the front office could have done anything differently? And what do you make of the steps that he has taken since his suspension to sort of become a better decision maker?
Yeah, I mean, from the point where, you know, everything kind of came to a head, you know, with Ja, there was some, you know, concerning behavior, you know, there certainly. And I think Ja would be the first to say, you know, that it's an ongoing, you know, process, an ongoing, you know, commitment to being the best player that he can be, the best leader that he can be, the best teammate, you know, that he can be. I would give him all, I mean, we've been in lockstep, you know, with Ja from, you know, the morning, you know, that hit of, you know, identifying, you know, this is a really significant issue. There's, you know, real concrete steps you're going to have to take, you know, to prove that, you know, you can, you know, take the you know, steps forward with the team that you need to, that the NBA, you know, is going to want to see as well. You know, and I'm looking forward to seeing the level that he can get to, that we all know, you know, he can get to as we dive into next season.
Just to follow up on that, Zach was in here talking a lot about self-created distractions that you guys had to deal with, whether it was in this series or along the way. Is there anything, as you've reflected, that you need to evolve in terms of your approach with this group to avoid that in the future?
So we absolutely had, unnecessary drama, as you said, self-inflicted, decisions that, take away from the team, and that can't be the case. We've got to be locked in on what are our controllables, What are the priorities, not just in the summer, but coming into the season? There's been a lot of dialogue about that. There's going to be a lot of dialogue over the next couple of months. Consistent with these guys, I'm going to be just burning in their ears.
Man, so when I look at this, these people have stuck their necks out there for Ja Morant in good faith that he would abide by the rules and represent the team in a great fashion during this offseason. Well, they have to feel played and betrayed at this stage just due to the fact that they talked about the strides he was making, how he had improved, how he had gotten it. He himself sat up there just like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and said, that he's making strides as a leader. He's striving to stay out the blogs. He's adopted that less talk, more action policy that they're trying to implement around the Grizzlies next year, more like the Grindhouse used to be with Zebo and those guys. They ain't talk much. They went out there and just grinded it out. And it looked like it was going to be that way. And lo and behold, he has some free time in the offseason, and this is the first incident that we hear about. And this, they didn't take any time to suspend him because they know, okay, he's not listening. Let's just suspend him. And then we'll look and see what it is. Man, Ja's going to get a hefty suspension, hefty fine behind this. I don't see no way that he starts next season, and you look at, just a few days, 10 days, whatever it was, and he's back and he healed himself by going to this place in Florida, and it supposedly ridded him of all his problems that fast. Stephen A was always skeptical of that, and we got to give Stephen A credit. A lot of times Stephen A is wrong about a lot of stuff, but as it pertains to this matter, he articulated himself greatly, and Molly was trying to say it's an escape, but Ja was falling in the trap of being Ja Morant, the superstar athlete that can get away with whatever. And Stephen A was like, he needed that taken away a little bit longer, or he's probably not going to get it. And he's right. A slap on the wrist is a slap on the wrist. And if you don't get a punishment that can really stick with you, that can be brought back to your memory before you do any and everything, then it's likely you'll repeat that same thing in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And this is what we dealing with right now with Ja Morant, man. Young point guard. He won't be the face of the NBA ever. I think this is too much. Social media era. He cannot rebuild himself to that level. Is he still going to continue to play? I don't know what to say. Looks like he'll probably be back, but man, I don't know what the conditions will be. And this is exactly why he didn't make the first, second, or third All-NBA team. The NBA got it right. Some people were saying that, he brought it on himself, while others were like, they holding this against Ja, they hate, and they trying to take his money away. The NBA made a phenomenal decision because they would be kicking themselves right now for putting him on those teams. And I hate to say it, but this man, he's hell-bent on tricking himself out of money for some reason. I mean, it's like he's addicted to tricking himself out his own spot. And I hadn't seen nothing like this before. Ja. I don't know what to say, brother. If you haven't got it at this point, I don't know if you're ever going to get it, because you just lost $39 million. What more does it take for you to realize that you're imploding from the inside right now? You just got up there, got the general manager, Taylor Jenkins, going to bat for you, but also expressing their concern about what happened and letting you know the severity of it. And then you go do this? Oh, man. This is brutal here, brother. This is brutal. All you had to do was walk a straight and narrow. You could have repaired it. But now when you start being a repeat offender with something, when you say you sorry this time, it's not going to hit the same. It's going to be like, oh, okay, he just saying what he got to say. He's forced to say this, and everybody's going to look at it now. The people that was riding against the people that were against you are going to be riding with the people that's against you now. So you're going to lose more and more supporters to support your argument. And so I just want you to be mindful of that. NBA has suspended Ja Morant. I just wanted to show you what was said, a few weeks prior. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.